What does following the ball mean? It's about your eyes. You don't stare at the ball constantly. First, understand this. Your eyes aren't just glued to the ball's location. It's not, ball here, stare here. Ever hear the phrase use your body to find the ball? What does that mean? Your eyes only need to watch the opponent's contact. Focus on that moment. Once you see the ball coming, your eyes should stop tracking it. Because at that point, if you keep staring, you'll have problems. 1. Your timing will be late. Because by the time the ball reaches your eyes and you react, it's too late to make a good stroke. 2. This is called chasing the ball. If the ball is fast, you can't visually track it and still be on time. Your movement will always lag behind. 3. If your eyes are locked on the ball, your whole body will be slow. So what is using your body to follow? Understand this, after the opponent makes their stroke, you can already predict the ball's path. You don't need to watch it all the way. If you keep staring, you'll slow yourself down. So, body following means, once the opponent completes their stroke, their swing path and the force they use tell you where the ball is going. Before they swing, you don't know, but once they finish the motion, you've seen it. Based on their swing and power, you can predict the ball's trajectory. If they swing like this, a soft, floating swing, that means the ball will float cross-court, and not very fast. Why? No real power behind it, just a gentle float. So as soon as they finish that motion, you know. 1. It's going cross-court. 2. Quality is low. So your move, start moving cross-court. You saw their swing, now move. As you move into position, your weight is already shifting to prepare for an attack. This ball is attackable. You can go on the offensive, right? You should attack this. Why? You saw it's cross-court, not to high. So once you see their swing, you move your feet, and as you step, your weight is already loading for the forward drive. You're ready to power through the ball. That's how you follow. Okay. That's following. Not with your eyes, with your feet. Use your footwork to find the point, then let your body and arm follow. Not eyes, not hands. Feet find the point first. Step 1, footwork. Step 2, after positioning, engage your body's power. That's the key. Step 2, you focus on the feeling of power, the leg drive, body rotation. Why do many amateur players struggle with consistency? They might sometimes find the point with their feet, but then they can't translate that into power. Why? Because after finding the point, my hand just can't find the right contact point. You know how to move your feet, but when your feet get there, your hands feel disconnected. You can't generate power. Does this sound familiar? The core issue is often the footwork. It's not that the hands can't move, right? So, what if both your feet and hands feel stuck? Listen carefully, because this is important. Yeah, sometimes your feet are already in position, but your arm swing and body coil are lagging behind. You have your arm back, but still can't load power properly. What's the problem there, right? Let me explain. First, it relates to the first point we just discussed. You must anticipate and read the play early. Why? Because what kind of ball is coming from your opponent? Your forehand topspin and your forehand block are completely different shots. You have to remember this. The footwork for a forehand block and for a forehand topspin to generate power must be different. Even if the ball is to my forehand, if I intend to play a forehand block, or if I intend to attack with my forehand, my footwork pattern will be completely different. So here's the thing. The first step is not just about seeing where the ball is going. You also need to know, as the ball arrives at that spot, what you're going to do with it. Does that make sense? It's not just, oh, the ball is coming to my middle, so I run to the middle. Your opponent sends the ball to your middle, so you run to the middle. But how do you run? One run is not the same as another. Is it the footwork for a counter loop, or for a regular forehand loop? Or for a defensive shot, or for a quick block or drive? Can they be the same? Absolutely not. If I want to block, I might just step in, just push forward with my weight. If I want a quick drive, well, while I'm loading power, my feet are already adjusting. If I want to loop, I should step back a bit. As I move my feet, I should be loading power backwards. For a counter loop, I need to step back even more. Right, I read the heavy spin, I need to plant my legs firmly. So even if the ball's landing point is identical, my intended response changes everything. It dictates my footwork pattern. So everyone, remember this. When you see a ball going to your forehand, don't just run to your forehand side automatically. You need to understand, what are you going to do once you get to that ball? This is crucial. Because your intended stroke changes everything. A different stroke requires a slightly different positioning of your feet. So you make a good read, this ball from my opponent, I can forehand loop it. Then, as your leg moves in that direction, you should already be completing your power loading action. Forehand or backhand, it's the same, including the technique conversion we talked about earlier. Sometimes you hear, hey, I learned this conversion technique. Why does it work in fixed point drills? My technique conversion is smooth, but as soon as I have to move, I'm too slow. As soon as I start my footwork, I don't have time to execute the technique. I didn't understand this at first either. I'd say, well, isn't your footwork getting you there? For many shots, you're only focusing on moving your feet. You must understand you are one coordinated unit. As I am moving into position, I should already be completing my power load. My feet arriving at the spot means I am ready. It means I'm poised to unleash power, not that I get into position first, then start my loading action. Then it's too late for anyone. So, I make a good judgment. This is coming to my forehand. It's from the opponent's forehand. The quality isn't too high this time. Then, as I'm moving my feet, I'm already engaging my hips, loading power. When do you execute the technique? You do it simultaneously with your footwork. When should you do it? You do it simultaneously with your footwork. Look, when your feet are in position like this, is your body ready? Right, your feet are there, but is your body coiled and loaded? If your body is ready, you're ready. So, if I want to attack this ball seriously, my mind must accurately judge. 1. The ball is coming to this spot. 2. I must know what I'll do when I get there. What's my intention? 3. As I move my feet, I must simultaneously prepare my stroke. I must execute my power load. The same logic applies to forehand and backhand, right? Like you've heard me talk about a heavy underspin ball. For that ball, as I'm moving into position, I'm already planting my foot down. I'm moving and planting my weight simultaneously. I can't think, step 1, step 2, that's way too slow. Or I can't go, oh wow, look at that backspin. Okay. Right, get my racket ready, prepare to drop and lift. Read it well. This is a long, heavy push. I can loop it. So as I step in, as I'm doing my shuffle step, I'm already planting my leg down, initiating the power load. Remember, do it in the flow of the movement. Don't think, now I shuffle. Now I sidestep. Now I take a single step. Now I cross step. Don't memorize them as separate. They must blend together seamlessly. Right. I see the ball drop after it bounces. So I'm shuffling and planting my weight during the shuffle. Right, my feet are positioned. My power is loaded. Then I can truly let my feet guide me to the ball, let my body flow into the shot, and complete the stroke normally. During the movement itself, I complete my power loading. Same for forehand and backhand. Some people are always late on the backhand. If you've already arrived, then you start your swing? Definitely too late. That's the principle. Actually, I personally think yes. This is a slightly more advanced concept. Sometimes you say, my technique conversion is fine in fixed drills, but what about when I move? Or, like the triangle I talked about before. Someone asked, my fixed position triangle is good, but what do I do when moving? Do you see now when to apply it, right? You apply it in this process. You must anticipate first, that's key. You always ask me, why don't I talk about footwork much? Because footwork, to me, is something that should be natural and instinctive. Do you feel the same way? I think footwork is a natural thing. To be honest, before I started live coaching, I honestly didn't know terms like hip engagement or pelvis position. I just moved my own way. I could get to the ball, to my spot, and loop from my natural position. That was correct. A lot of footwork training gets too rigid. This is a shuffle step. This is a cross step. This is a single step. Honestly, I never thought that way when playing. In my mind, I just considered, can I push off and get to this ball? If I can push and get there, I do. Some players say, I must shuffle here, cross step there, side step there. At that point, your fluidity, your natural movement, actually suffers. How did I practice shuffling? I just ran. I moved. More distance, take more steps. Less distance, fewer steps. That's it. Right, don't overthink it. If you analyze it too meticulously, you get tangled up. Like, he finished his shuffle, then starts his stroke. He doesn't realize these two actions can be connected. Or when you cross step, don't you also transfer your weight forward? It's one step, right? If your positioning is poor, go practice multi-ball footwork drills. I'm telling you to practice, but if you go and overanalyze how to run, the more you think about the mechanics, the less effective it is, in my opinion. Really, the more you ponder, what step combination do I need for this ball? It's useless. You must feel it in the rally. How can I get there smoothly? How can I move fluidly? That's the right approach. If you think too complicated, sometimes you won't know how to move at all. I'll be honest with you all. Sometimes when I demonstrate a movement, I have to do it myself first to figure out how I actually got there. That's the honest truth, right? Sometimes you can't just figure it out by thinking. Or what you imagine is different from what happens in play. It gets a bit philosophical, haha. A bit abstract, haha, right. But that's how it is. That's my personal take. Anticipation is the prerequisite.